How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of At the Doghouse. Today we're sitting here with some special guests. We got the band Death's Hand from Central Maine joining us tonight.
Sick.
These guys kick fucking ass, so we're gonna get a little bit about them and see what they do and where it all comes from. So why don't you guys go around, introduce yourselves, who you are, what you do?
Well, starting here, I'm Kelly. I play drums.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
I
My name is Ed. I'm the one of the guitar players in Death's Hand.
What's up, Ed?
Ed.
My name's Kyle. I'm also one of the guitar players in Death's Hand.
Kyle.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got two Kyles here tonight. That
Yeah.
might get a little confusing, but oh well, fuck it.
No drywall is
a little
safe.
bit.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Ryan, vocalist, yeller,
The
The
yeller.
the yeller, the
Yeah.
yeller.
Where are you guys based out of?
I already said that.
Oh, Ryan and I are based out of Bangor.
It says Central.
Oh yeah, good old Bangor.
Oh,
Basically New England. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't
yeah,
realize
really.
you were like way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle and
Oh,
Ed
yeah.
are down near Wyndham, Portland area.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's like an hour. It's not bad.
Yeah, we were hanging out with some of the Bangor boys last week on when the dead won't die.
Yep.
Nice, nice.
Those guys,
Those
they're
are
pretty chill.
homies.
Yeah,
Those
they're
are
pretty
homies.
chill. Put on a good show.
We're hoping to get them on here soon.
Yeah.
Put in a
Yeah,
good
they're-
show for us.
They're fun. I mean,
Yeah,
I
they're fun
think
dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
all of
So-
us have played with multiple of the band members from that band that played in other bands and played at Wyndham a lot of Wyndham VFW hall shows and stuff like that. So, yeah, we know them pretty well.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
looking around, I'm seeing a trend. Do you guys not run with a bassist or what?
What's
Not
that?
no.
What's that?
No.
Or-
That's why
or is
I
he a
was talking
laptop?
earlier, and we were like, "How many? Is there 4 or 5 guys in the band? Like, what happened that night?"
Yes.
The
So,
laptop is our bass player.
yeah.
That's-
Yeah. So pretty much the way we figured this out sort of was Kyle and I were in the band before this. Technically it's the same band, we just changed names and kept songs. And we had a lot of issues just with members trying to find the right members, doing the right thing, and it just got really funky. And so we got down to the point where it was like, okay, I knew 2 people who I was like, I'm pretty sure these 2 people will be solid in the band. I'd been in a band with Ryan before. I played drums in the Waking Life, and then Kelly took my place as drummer of the Waking Life after I left.
Yeah.
It's a weird
Yeah.
circle of life there. Just
Yeah.
funny.
So I'd known Ryan, and I was like, I know Ryan's a great vocalist, so I really want him to come in and do vocals. And then and Kyle and I mean, had talked back and forth, and he's like, do you know anybody? Can we, what can we do? And it was just kind of like, I think we should try out Ryan. And like, I don't know Kelly, but I know the music he's played because I played it on drums. So like, if he can play that, I know he's got to be solid. And then it was just like, after we got those 2 and started practicing, we didn't find a bass player, and we were just like, let's just keep it us. And like, we know who's in the band, we know what we can do. And, we didn't want to add another person, another schedule, any of that,
yeah.
We kind of just let everything happen naturally now too. That's kind of how it like started since the beginning as well. It all happened kind of perfectly in a way, because right after Ed and them had asked me, "Hey, do you want to be in the band?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll write some lyrics for these songs that you guys sent me." And then literally less than maybe 6 hours, I was in Walmart, hadn't been back in Maine that long because I was living out in California, and I ran into Kelly, hadn't seen him in
Yep.
years, and I was like,
It was
"Hey," like we were about to part ways, and I was like, "Wait a minute." I was like, "Hey, dude, I like got, hit up to be in this band." I was like, "Would you want to drum in it?" And Kelly was like, "Send me the stuff." And we've been doing it ever since. So
Sick.
Funny how
Yeah.
it works out like that.
Wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Are you originally from Cali or?
no, my fiance is from out there, and I ended up moving out there for a while, and then we moved back because Maine's cheaper. So
Yeah, I know that
Yeah, for
feeling.
sure.
My wife's from there, and we did the same thing. We lived there for like 5-6 years, and then we're back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Expensive.
Cali's definitely a
Can't
pricey
deny
ass
New
state.
England, dude.
So how long have you guys actually been like a thing? Like when did all that actually transpire?
Honestly, the years are kind of a blur. Do you
Yeah.
remember what? Do you remember what year it was, Ryan,
like-
when you ran into me in Walmart?
Jeez, I don't know. Every time
Maybe
I'm like, I was
post-COVID.
talking to
that's-
Chelsea about it today, and I was like, we've been a band longer than 3 years, I think, and it's always shocking because it doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, it does not. It does not seem that long.
You guys
Yeah,
got a pretty impressive catalog out for only 3 years, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
You
for
guys have been on the grind.
Kudos to that, man. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's
Brian.
it's been a pretty cool process. I think like one of the things that we've tried to do is just do our own thing, you know, like we're not I don't know, we talk about this a lot between ourselves. Um we just want to do what we want to do. Like we're not like, hey, we want the fans to like this. Hey, we want people to like this. Like we write what we like, and if other people like it, that's
cool.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
it should
it's
be.
one of those, and it's not like I don't want that to come off as like cocky or selfish or anything like that. Like that's not what that
Well,
is. It's just
thing
you know
It's
what I
about
mean?
it is-
when we all started this band, we've all been in a bunch of bands, and we were like, we're getting old, and we were like, this will probably be the last band we ever do. So we're like, let's do the things that we want to do without worrying about, oh, someone might not like it. We're like, it doesn't matter if someone doesn't like it because we're putting our time into doing the things that we've wanted to do for like ever because we are all like the same
Yeah.
type of music. So now that we're in this band, we have the opportunity to just be like, hey, this is the idea we have. And most of the time we're like, we're going to use whatever idea any of us have. And that's why I think we have the sound that we've created for ourselves because we just blend it
It's
all
kind of
together and it
amalgamation.
works. Yeah.
And like
The goal-
coming
the goal
from
is
the
just-
waking life, like I mean, the three of us, we know like that just left a super sour taste in my mouth. And after I was done with that band, I didn't want to do music anymore, really, until I saw Ryan.
I always want to do music. After I was done with the war criminal stuff, I go crazy whenever I don't have an outlet to yell or write. So as soon as I had the opportunity, I was like, I'm not going to pass this up for one because I need the outlet. I have bad mental health, and two, I absolutely love music and the style and everything that we're doing is what I've always wanted to do.
Yeah. It's a great form of expression. It's a great way to like let out that anger, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Just be able to be like, you know what, I'm fucking pissed off today. And just
Oh
say,
yeah, man. I got that that bipolar too, that big sad big whatever it is. I don't know. It sucks. That's all.
You know.
Yeah, that's what music's all about, man. Just writing what you want to produce.
Oh,
If
100%.
you're doing it any other way, it's just not gonna come off right.
Yeah.
People are gonna be able to tell. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah.
so
And it's like
we take
hearing
our
you
time,
guys
too.
before multiple times. You guys definitely have your own sound, and it's fucking sick. It really
yeah,
is.
I think and I think that's like what we're most proud of is that like because and don't take this wrong. There's a lot of amazing bands that we've played with and a lot of amazing bands that we haven't played with that have like that very specific deathcore, hardcore sound. And it was like, I don't want to do the same slow breakdowns that everybody does. I don't want to do the same this. I don't want to do the same that. So like when you listen to our stuff, like there are songs where you're like, man, there could really be like this crazy, like super slowed down breakdown. And there isn't. And there's a reason for that, like we wanted to write stuff just a little bit differently, like how we wanted. And not that we don't like that stuff, we do. It's just, I didn't want to be kind of like we really, and Kyle can say the same thing, like, because him and I are the ones that mainly write like all the guitar stuff and we bring it together and we kind of do that. But like the biggest thing for us is just like, we write for ourselves, we put it all together, we all kind of put our own little sugar and spice on it or whatever, and then go into the recording studio and just throw it down, like, you know what I mean? So it's just it's one of those things where hearing you guys say that, and I know everyone feels the same, like it's really cool to go like, you guys have a specific sound, and that's cool. Like, not that we're like reinventing the wheel, we're not, but
The thing about it too is that we take our time writing too. We don't force anything out. We take our time writing and everything
It's
is
been a whole
deliberate.
year.
Yeah, we definitely do. I never really thought about that, but we do spend a lot of time on every song that we do, right? That is true. We're very but it's just like a natural process. That's how we work with each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. I mean, we want to be natural. Nothing is forced, and that's why it does take time.
You can tell when you see you guys live, like the energy is always there. And with the four of you always playing, it's like it's full on bore, right? But like we saw you at Paige's birthday a couple weeks back, man, and we were missing Kyle that day. And fucking the
Yep.
energy
Your
was
presence
intense.
was
That
Still,
crazy.
it's like
that was a fun day. That was a
yeah,
fun
man.
day.
Yeah, that was great, dude. I
Fun
was
day.
glad we made contact that time because we got to see you a few times before that, and we always said like, man, we got to meet them boys for sure.
Yeah, no, it was fun
Yeah.
linking up and getting this scheduled and stuff. And now we were fucking talking.
So
That
like
was a fun day though. I had a lot of fun at that.
Oh yeah.
something like that comes about. Like, how do you keep like the mentality of like, dude, we're still gonna go in and we're gonna fucking hit it hard.
Knowing you're down a man.
Like, no, yeah, you know what I mean. You're not full bore.
I mean,
Fully.
at
I
the
don't
end of the day, you just got to
yeah.
get up there and do your job, man. Like it comes down to it. We're performers. We got to perform, no
Yeah,
matter
for me,
if we're down someone.
that's like it's like that's what happens when I do it. That's how every band that I've been in, I've always I don't know, I like to move around. The only way I can't yell and stand still. So I gotta like
Yeah, dude. I don't
it's
think you
part of
stop
like
pacing
the
that
No,
whole
you
time.
were a hard guy to capture with the
Constant
cameras. That
Yeah.
night, dude.
it's like one of those things to where I think I don't know, I've got like ADHD too. So I think because I'm when you're yelling, it's fast. So I think my brain's like I gotta move around at the same time to keep up with my
Right,
like
exactly.
pacing. But it like helps in a way too, because you move your body and into the beat or whatever, and it keeps
Right.
you like
Just sucked, dude. I was trying to get shots of you, and I'm like, ah,
everybody everybody says
At
that, man. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'll try to
one
stay
point,
still
you tripped
sometimes.
over me, like fucking.
Yep.
Like
Well,
fuck, I'm in the way.
I think one thing that kind of adds to that too with being a man down, is it's difficult, right? Because like it leaves me guitar wise as the only guitar player on stage. There's no other bass player. It's just me. So
Don't fuck it up, Ed.
yeah.
Ed was all lonely up there.
Yeah. So well, but the thing is too, it's like with Kyle's a presence on stage. And so if you've ever been to a show with Kyle there, he's
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we call him a thick boy for a reason because he is.
Oh, yeah.
That
Like,
big dick.
Kyle's got that. Kyle's got
yeah.
that headbang, and it's
Yeah.
mean. It's
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
Love
it's
it.
funny too,
Love
because
it.
I don't think he said a word yet.
I was gonna say
He's
you-
I was gonna say
he needs to-
he needs to. He needs to. But like, yeah,
just
no,
chilling.
I think one of the things, it sucks. We all, it with just with how life works right now. Kyle's just it's tough for Kyle to get time off to take shows. So we play without him. It sucks. It really does. Like, but when we can, when he can, it's a treat and it's awesome. And that's another thing too. It's like a lot of people, you know, um, will sometimes see us play and they're like, man, we thought you were a 4-piece. We thought you were a 4-piece. And it's like, yeah, like right now, this is just how this is kind of working.
Yeah.
And I think that also shows kind of us and who we are
Brilliance.
as a band. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, I think a
Yeah.
lot of people at that point would have been like, well, yo, if you can't play shows, like we might as well replace you. And that's not who we are, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
it's
Right.
just
Staying
not,
loyal to
you
the
know?
crew, you know.
Yeah. So
admirable.
it's just
Yeah.
one of those things where as a band we've gone through a lot. We've dealt with a lot. Personally, we try to keep each other up to date on how we're all doing mentally, how we're all doing physically, how we're all doing, monetarily, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are having issues right now with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's just,
It's hard out there, It's
yeah.
Bro, everywhere too.
Yeah. So it's
Can't
one of those
escape it.
things where it's like this is one of those things where it's like we are a brotherhood, and I know some people like might think that sounds lame, but it really is just true. Like if you can't sit down and have a serious conversation with some of your bandmates, then like not that you should rethink it, but it's one of those things where like you're sharing such cool art and such, a cool way to express yourself that like I couldn't think about having people in the band that weren't you know, able to communicate like that, you know, and it took us a while. Don't get me wrong. Like we weren't like that to begin with, but like,
And just like every other band too, we've had our bumps in the road, you know, as
Yeah.
far as communication goes, as far as, you know, everything goes.
It's its
We've
own
had
marriage.
our bumps in the road.
Yeah, it's
But
own
it's all
special
about
kind of
how you
relationship.
communicate and get through them.
yeah.
Yep, and at the end of the day, it seems like you guys make it work pretty fucking well. So
Yeah.
that's all that matters, you know.
So if you guys want to, let's dig into Life and Decay a little bit. You guys' newest EP.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that Kyle needs to respond on this next question.
Hey Kyle, would you like to tell
Put him
us
on
a
the-
little bit
put him
more
on the
about Life in
spot.
Decay, brother?
Put them on the spot.
Hell yeah.
A little bit of the inspiration, the mindset behind it, like maybe an overall message.
That's a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
I think the overall message, I can't really speak for Ryan. I'll let Ryan speak on his shit. Guitar wise, you know, instrumentally, it's kind of am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah, dude, say whatever the hell you want.
You better
It's
watch
like
your
a
fucking
big,
mouth,
it's
dude.
a big fuck you. It's a look at us. We play simple music at the end of the day. It's not like it's technical or complicated, but that's what we do because that's what we want. But we're adding a bunch of extra stuff to that. We're adding those synths and those backing tracks to give it that beefier layer.
Yeah,
That's why when I don't play shows, what you hear from Ed every time someone's like, holy shit, why does it sound so heavy? It's because of everything else that we've put into it.
Right.
And this album, it's an advance as far as like the music goes. It's definitely, it has its roots, like what we like to play. Obviously, there's these catchier parts, there's these more metal parts, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But it's purely an advancement that we wanted to do on our own terms in our own way. And like I said, the overall vibe with it for me, it's that progression, and it's the early stages of, you know, a newer band, and it's a progression that I like to see. It's that's why we're doing it, and that's why we work as a band, because we all have our outside influences, and it gets filtered through, and you get some of these heavy parts, and then you get some of these faster parts, and it's like we can play a show with all different types of bands and their genres because certain things just work for us to be able to do that. Yeah, like I said, I can't speak for Ryan because I know lyrically there's some deep rooted shit that he put down, and I will say it's one of those things when I re-listen to the songs, there's a fucking raw emotion that he has, and it's there, and you can feel that shit, and then it just brings out the rest of the music. So
Yeah.
my 2 cents.
Yeah. So Ryan, you want to elaborate on that a little bit, or?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I struggle a lot with like I guess it was like I think it was 3 years ago now, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2, and then I have a traumatic brain injury and like some fucked up shit that happened in my head, and they're still looking into it. But I write a lot about like mental health and, you know, struggling with depression and like, you know, the thoughts that, you know, nobody wants to know that you have, and that fucking, you know, the negative influences of like, you know, religion on society. Not that religions are bad or anything, but there's a lot of push narratives that I don't agree with. And just like a lot of betrayal in my life and like personal things, and that's why a lot of it's seemingly angry, but it's outlet. You know, and you know, you got to use it to get it out. You can't just, as me, I'm like I'm unmedicated. I can't take anything for the stuff that I have because I have heart issues. So I smoke weed about it and write about it. As you,
There you
if
go,
it,
man.
if I can't get it out, my therapist was like, if you can't get, you know, if getting it out this way is the way to do it, then, you know, don't keep it inside your head because it's going to make it worse. And
Right.
I'm
it's
I'm
all
like
good.
one of those people where I'm very open everywhere, and sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. But the reason I do it is because like it may sound negative or fucked up, but it's like when I die, at least someone out there will know that they weren't the only one that feels this way.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
that's good.
That's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of powerful. Like
yeah,
if
I
you
was
think
gonna
about it,
say.
you know what I mean? It's just it just goes to show how much emotion actually does go into the music and everything else like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
it's not just a bunch of angry guys fucking making loud sounds, you know, like
No,
I
yeah,
mean, it kind of
there's
is that.
something
I mean it
there's
is,
something
but
behind it. Like a lot of people, probably think I'm a angry asshole, which a lot of people do, but I care a lot too. Like, one of our songs is about like stuff that's going on in the world, and like, tragedies and wars and like,
And
all of that.
honestly, that's
And
my lyrically my favorite
everybody,
song on the
everybody, no
EP.
matter where you are, you deal with that stuff and everybody loses, family and friends and shit. So like it's not just all angry stuff. Like we're not all just angry guys. We got hearts too over here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. People don't understand that. They don't get that.
Yeah.
it's like I hear it all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like metalheads are happy people cosplaying as angry people, and hippies are angry people cosplaying as happy people.
Literally.
That's funny.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kelly, what were you saying?
Oh, the song that Ryan was talking about, it's very political and just world events in nature, and that's actually it's my favorite song lyrically that he's written. Also, the second to last song on the EP.
Yeah.
All right, nice. What's the name of the song? What song we talking about?
Bloodshed, is that what it's called,
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I have to
bloodshed.
go back and re-listen to it and really like dig deep into
What
it.
did
Yeah,
I?
dig deep
It's
into the lyrics on that one. It's just really rhythmic and it flows really well. I,
Yeah.
I for some reason when
Just like one of the lyrics is it's cities burned to the ground, mothers cry, children drown. Oh, it's mothers die, children drown, fathers lost in the midst of this war, they seem fit, and it's anybody can relate to that really. So
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
it's got a deeper meaning. If you listen to it, I'm sure you can understand it.
it
Right.
it just hit hard at the time because of what's going on in the world. I was like, oh damn. And not only that, it
Oh,
was just very intelligently written. So
Yeah.
kudos on
Yeah.
that.
It's one of those sleeper songs, I feel like, on the
I
EP.
stepped out of my like comfort zone with that one too. Usually I just write about personal to me feelings and stuff. And like obviously stuff people can connect to, but I never have actually read about something that's actively going on in the world or anything like that. So
Like
for
going
me, it
through
was different, and the way they wrote that, I was like, how the hell do I write anything to this? Because that's a crazy song for me to do vocally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the one thing that Ryan has a very, very, you know, finger on the pulse of is rhythmically taking his lyrics and adding them to the songs that we have. So
Yes.
if you listen, so most of these songs were written by Kyle. Kyle's the primary writer in this band.
He's a powerhouse.
Yeah, and so there's I wrote one full song on the EP and like a half a song on the EP, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But pretty much like the whole last
You
EP and then
contributed
the
a
rest
lot
of
of
it.
like additions riff wise
Yeah.
though,
yeah,
like bits and
additions.
bobs here and
Yeah, exactly. Additions.
there.
Exactly.
Additions.
Exactly. But yeah, the thing about Kyle is Kyle can write in many different styles, but kind of the way we have figured out how we work is it's very caveman, like just like I call them unga bunga riffs. That's what I call
Yeah,
them.
it's literally what they
Like
are.
that's all
I
it is.
love it.
You know?
Like
You just
I love
picture a
it.
caveman stomping around like a
yeah,
cave.
yeah,
That's
and
why I
That's the
love
kind
it.
of riffs we write.
yeah, and it's like
I like to
especially
stomp like a caveman in a cave. It's fun. It's fun.
I
exactly.
just think they're like dying fetus riffs and
Yeah, yeah,
like literally control, that's just straight up dying fetus riffs.
right,
Like
right.
straight up slam.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But it's fun. It's cool to to kind of create songs with Kyle and go, man, like I think this song has potential. And then like Kelly adds drums, and then Ryan adds the lyrics, and we go into the studio and we lay it down, and we're like, oh shit, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
the
it's
way that I write
There
drums,
was
I feel like is
Run
very
it.
different to
the
a lot of people too.
yeah,
this last EP we actually did too. The the last three songs that are on it. Like I had partial written for one of them, and then I was like, I had some other stuff that I was going to use for the other two, and I scrapped them all. And we played a show. I think it was, what was it in? It was in Biddeford, and then the guys
Yeah.
didn't hear the new stuff at all that I did. And I was like, hey, I wrote entire new lyrics last night. I stayed up till 6 a.m. after we played the show at Sacred Profane and rewrote the other three songs. And they were like, what? And I was like, trust me, it's gonna be cool. Or at least I hope it is. And I like how it turned out. I'm satisfied with it.
The way he said that, it just reminds me of that meme with Charlie Day. She Ryan, like, listen, guys, it's gonna make sense, all right? Just
Yeah,
stay here.
I did. I was like, just
All
trust
right.
me. I was like,
Yeah.
some of the lyrics are a little, but it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be cool.
yeah. Well, I think too, the way that I never liked the idea of recording in a studio. And I never really recorded in a professional studio until this band. But the way we record in a studio is so much fun. I love it. It's weird. It's kind of like it's kind of I don't even know how to explain it. We go in pretty much with rough songs, usually no lyrics. Usually no lyrics, right? So
Yeah, I
like
write them like right beforehand every
Yeah.
time. Literally,
So-
yeah, we do. That's what we
yeah. So we usually go into the studio straight
Shout
like
out
demos.
Evan Salmons. Evan
Yeah.
Salmons is the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ed and I will be completely prepared. We'll have like the shells of the songs. Like he'll.
yeah.
So the way we write is pretty unique. Ed, me, and Kyle being like really far away, we kind of have like a riff sharing thing. Ed will come to me with something prepared. Kyle will come with something prepared. I'll put a click track to it, and then I'll MIDI map it all out drum wise, and then I'll play it on my kit and learn it, and then if anything needs to be changed, I'll change it, send it back to them. They'll approve of it. If we need to change things, we'll change it. And at that point, we have a shell of a song, so we just take it to Evan, and that's essentially how Death's Hand songs are created.
Yeah.
It's a cool process. It works.
Yeah.
It works.
It's I
Yeah.
mean it's not like it's like
And we
Sure.
live far away, like we're gaps, so it's hard to have a traditional practice where we all have like full-time jobs and very busy. So that process makes it a little makes it a little easier, I guess, on us.
So with that, how is it like preparing for a live show, like a gig coming up? You guys getting together a couple of times in that week or a couple weeks before to really kind of get it live, or you just going, fuck it, we're gonna hit this?
Sometimes, but usually we just go do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the way it is we all practice enough on our own.
I listen
as
to
it is,
at my
Yeah.
house I'll be cleaning and I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, I had band practice today with myself, like
Right.
I have
my dog will be barking with me. Yeah.
Exactly.
But with that distance too, like you guys being so far apart, how did that what kind of challenges did that present? Obviously quite a bit, I would assume, of like trying to record videos like Run From It and like that new video you guys dropped recently.
Oh yeah, we had this pre-schedule. We had to pre-schedule everything and make sure everyone's available and stuff, and do stuff like ample time ahead to make sure we're all prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. We planned
takes
Run
a
From
little
It probably
bit.
like what? It was like 2 or 3 months before we actually like the video. We were like,
Yeah.
all right, let's do this, and then we actually ended up changing the date when we were gonna do it. Pushed
Yeah.
it back a little bit more just so we were more prepared. Then
Right.
we actually ended up filming it ourselves. Ed took the first, his first opportunity at editing and filming, and he nailed it.
Yeah. And it
Honestly,
came out
like, it
awesome
came out super
either way.
sick.
Like
Yeah, it looks sick.
after watching that video once or twice, I was like, dude, this came out really fucking well, especially
Yeah.
for like recording it on your own and like just doing your own thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a really cool experience, to be honest, because what had happened was we'd had someone who was originally going to do it. They backed out like literally 2 days before. I won't name names. We'll just leave it at that. And then we had another person who I had asked, and they were like, I think I can do it. I can't give you 100%, but I think I can do it. Just let me double check. Double checked, couldn't do it. And then
I tried to find someone, and we were just kind of like, eh.
yeah, and it's like I had just started getting back into to band photography, and I was like, dude, I've got like a really good camera, so how about I just shoot it and let's see what happens. Like, you
Yeah.
know, and I mean, for the first ever music video I've ever shot and the first music video I've ever edited, I'm proud of it. You know, it's not perfect. There's
should be.
definitely some things that could be better about it, but overall, I mean, I shot that thing, I came home, I woke up the next morning, was using a brand new program I'd never used before.
And we were all just talking all day, like, "Oh, how's it going? Is it all
Yeah.
good?" Like, it's funny. I edit stuff on like gaming things, and I was like trying to give pointers that way, and Ed was looking, up his own things, and I was like, I think it's gonna turn out pretty
Yeah.
good. And then I was shocked. I was like, "Damn, Ed, you nailed it. You
Yeah.
hit it out the water."
It's a killer fucking video, dude. I was watching the Breakdown Central reaction video for it today.
Yeah.
Dude, he did our video that we did for Cytokine. He
Yep.
did Old Legs of 50 video, and he did that's when we first got introduced to him, dude. And he's a fucking maniac.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's cool.
He's crazy. He's like, well, it's like, and I told him too, like, I was like, hey, I want to put this video in. He's like, cool. And I'm like, it really doesn't have any crazy breakdowns. Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, it's like, I knew it wasn't going to be like a crazy
I mean,
reaction video.
But it does kind of have a breakdown.
It's
but the
kind of like
last
a.
beats like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I picture like
not your traditional breakdown.
It's not your
like
traditional
when
breakdown.
I'm like yelling it, I like picture it like the way like it makes me feel. I feel like I'm like riding around a gladiator ring, like one of the dudes on the horse with a big fucking pole, just yelling at everybody. And especially when it just comes
Right out
in.
here on a chariot, fucking.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm like,
whatever
you know.
you need to do to yourself
Well, I
in that
mean, the
fucking
chorus
mode,
and run from it is just giant sounding as
It makes
it
me feel
is.
like I'm galloping sometimes. I don't know. It's just one of those songs that carries you through it.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, if you guys do a Halloween show now, you have to dress up as a gladiator.
True.
Bottom line, enough
Yeah,
said.
that'd be pretty great.
That would be great.
Then you can really feel like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wear the horse. I'll wear the horse mask, Ryan.
There you go. Yep.
What made you choose that song for your first single off that EP?
For me, it's
Well, it wasn't the
lyrically,
first single, actually.
Yeah,
Control
no, it
was
was.
the first.
Yeah,
Oh, it wasn't?
Control was.
Yeah.
We chose.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
we just
fault.
chose that one for the video because it
We'll
was.
we'll edit that out later. It's no
The
problem.
first video we did is more of like a. I'd say, like for the first EP, we did it for Lacerations, and that song's more of like a melodic. Like it's. I don't know. I can't explain it. You have to listen to it. It's just like it's different than a lot of our other songs. And then when we were doing like talking about doing this video, we're like, let's use a more like aggressive, angrier sounding song.
Right.
To just captivate that side instead of just the melodic side.
Yeah.
Be nice and in your face, you know.
Yeah. And shout out to Ian Urquhart. He did that Lacerations video for us, which is the first video we did.
Yeah. Yeah. And originally we were going to try to have him do the other video for us, but we just decided at this point, I was like, if I'm going to shoot a music video myself, it might as well be this one. So that's why I gave the attempt on that. But yeah, this EP is kind of just I mean, Kyle kind of said it correctly. Like it's just kind of that next step on what we wanted to do, and with the singles too, like with Control and then like, releasing the music video for Run From It after that. Like those two songs were the two songs that we were like, I don't say like most proud of, but the two songs we were like, I think this represents this
Most
EP the
sure
best.
of, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was just
Yeah, like they're my favorite songs off the new EP, and they're like Control itself is, it's about the like religion, in the wrong spots, and Run From It has multiple meanings. If you listen to it, I'm sure you can understand what it means. It's about betrayal. It's about struggling with religion and similar in those betrayal situations. It's a It's a multi-meaning song, but it's one of my favorite ones. Like like I said earlier, when I perform it, I feel a way, but it's like a big release too. Like I feel like the weight's off my shoulders every single time we play it.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those like take what you will from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to play last in our set too. We like actually closing with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice aggressive send off. Just
So with
Yeah.
everything we've talked about, you guys dropped the EP August 3rd. When did you guys actually start the EP? What was how long was the entire process?
We played Control for a while live, actually.
Yeah, we
Even
were
before we
playing
actually
Control
named it.
before,
Like a year.
before
Yeah.
we even recorded it, I think.
And then at some point we were like, I think Ed was like, let's just record another EP. He's like, we got some songs that we haven't even like we had songs we hadn't finished, or that we had one I think that we weren't playing live, which was Run From It, and then we decided to play it live, and they were like, well, let's record these. Let's get these all
Right.
finished and stuff.
It was funny. Bloodshed was actually kind of an add-on.
Yeah.
We wanted to do 4 songs, and we had Bloodshed in the bank, but it was just kind of like a last-minute add-on to, to do that one, and I banged the drums out for it right quick, and
That actually scared me too. I literally told the guys, I was like, the way the song is written, like the way it sounds when there's no lyrics to it, for like, I mean, there's been a few times in my life where I was like, this is a difficult song to write to, but this one I was like at work listening to it for hours a day, like I don't know what to do. And then literally, like I said before, like we played that show in the Sacred Profane, and I was like, okay, now I get it. It clicked.
Yeah, it just hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Random
Yeah.
stroke of genius.
And Kyle, how we were talking about this like yesterday. When did we start recording that EP? Like October?
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
October?
Yeah.
We had one of the songs out for like a whole year because we played it.
Yeah,
not
we were
this
playing
past summer.
Control for like a whole year
It was like
prior.
a
Yeah.
year, and
Yeah.
then like I said, I think it was like last fall when we started, and you guys kind of wrapped up. I want to say it was like January is when you
Yeah.
guys wrapped it up, and that was kind of it for a little bit, just figuring out all the other fun stuff that goes with it. I mean,
Yeah.
like when we record, we're at the point now, like with that doing our last video. And as I said before, the way I feel that this EP comes off, it just kind of encapsulates what we are, who we are, by a way of showing people like, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. You don't like it? Oh, well,
Right.
it's
We're
for
gonna do it
4
anyway.
guys. Like, it's not for everybody, like respectfully, but it's for 4 dudes, and we're going to do it our way. And if we have to cut corners to make the EP sound better, then that's what we're going to do. And that's one of those things, like we put the money into the EP and we did the recording, and Evan has a way of like making us sound way better and way more technical than we are, which is fucking awesome, because when I hear that, people are like, the Run From It, the intro to Run From It, it slaps you right in the dick.
Right.
The riff itself isn't necessarily complicated, but then you start adding like the synth in the background, and now it's like we're a prog band for 30 seconds, and it's
30
dope
seconds.
because someone's like, dude, this, how insane is that? What scale is it? What is, I don't know. All I know is what sounds good and what doesn't. That's it. That's
Just
how I
it.
play.
Fuck.
I played a beat.
Yeah.
And that's how we are as a band. So back to Ed's original question. Yeah, it's been a while. I would say like the fall.
Yeah, I want to say
about a
it
year.
was October when Ed and I went up to Evans and
Yeah.
spent a weekend there. That
Yeah.
was fun, by the way. That
Yeah,
friggin'
that was a
edible
fucking
fueled
blast.
synth writing.
We so at one point it was just Kelly and I were up there recording, and
Dude, we had like half a bottle of whiskey
Yeah.
and like an edible each, and we went down to the studio to write synth parts for the EP, and it was just Ed and I just
That's fun.
stoned out of our brains.
I forgot
Yeah.
all about that.
Yeah, dude, it was insane.
Yeah.
Because Evan was like, yeah, like what the his significant other and their kid, they're like I think they were gone or something. So he was like, oh, I've got
Something
extra
like
time
that, yeah.
tonight if you want to do stuff. And like at that point, like we had already started drinking and like ate an edible, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, I don't know if this is a great idea. And then it ended up being an
They
awesome
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it
You
ended
guys
up being
unleashed.
amazing
Sometimes
because
that's
some
the
of the
best
like
time to do
bad.
it,
Creative
man.
mode, dude. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Fuck yeah,
Bro, they
dude. Add a
unleashed
little
this-
mushy bar in there and fucking
Yeah.
sky's the limit, dude.
They unleashed like out of the fucking gates, like the mad scientist with Evan. It was like Ed. Originally, I had an idea of like where a certain sections of songs were going, and then Ed and Kelly in the chat were like, "Oh, that was fun as fuck. This happened, blah blah blah." And then I heard it, and I was like,
Oh
"Do
shit.
that more, like do that
Yeah.
more," because it was
Yeah,
fucking
it was
cool.
like
It was like,
I
what the
had
fuck?
brought in these edibles to the studio because I was like, that's what I do to sleep. But like, I was like, hey Ed, what if we take edibles to do
What?
this? And
What if we
then
do
we
this?
did.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was definitely fun. It was that like, and I think that time when we were there solidified the point where I was like, I actually like being in the studio and doing this stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was just like it was a time
The
where we got to
creative
spend.
process can be fun.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like,
It has
and
its stress and its perks.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
for sure, for sure. It definitely has some really cool parts and some parts where it's like very frustrating. But at the end of the day,
Racking brain.
yeah, and it's like especially working with Evan, like if you know anything about Evan, he's the drummer for the band Last Chance to Reason. Um they were a huge band. They toured Europe, they toured the US. I mean, they toured with a bunch of crazy people.
They
The
toured
lead
with Obscura.
yeah.
Shit.
So
Um
yeah.
the lead singer in Last Chance to Reason is actually the lead vocalist in The Contortionist right now.
Oh no
So
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Evan is an amazing producer, an amazing drummer. He does all the synth stuff for Last Chance to Reason. So if you haven't heard Last Chance to Reason, please go listen to them. They're absolutely insane.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
gonna have to go check them out.
And he
yeah,
doesn't
so
tell me I'm an idiot when I fuck up in the studio. So
yeah, yeah,
there's also that.
yeah.
There is that.
Yeah, but yeah,
You know-
working with him and doing like the synth stuff with him, that was huge. So it's like we had a lot of ideas that we wanted to bring in, but then working with him, who he's the one that does a lot of that synth and electronic stuff in Last Chance to Reason, that brought us like that whole like he's like, "Oh, perfect. I know the exact type of synth you need. Oh, I know what you need here." Like so
Yeah.
he was able to push what we wanted even further than we knew, where to push it,
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
So any last little tidbits from you guys before we wrap it up? Anything you want to shout out? Any new music in the works? Oh, fucking
Kyle can answer that.
Yeah, we got
We got a
He's
lot.
like, nope.
We do. We got one that technically is like complete. We just got to record it. Like I got the lyrics done, and we got the whole.
Yeah, we have
We
one-
basically got
one-
the pre sound of it all mapped out. We just had to go
Yeah.
in the studio with
It's a
it.
very special one.
Ooh,
It is actually.
fancy.
Yeah, it
For
is.
It's
every, like,
it's also
for
the
every-
most. I think it's the most like body of lyrics that I've written in a long time too. Because like a few of the ones off the new one are a lot of lyrics, but this one's like it's
It's
a lot.
extensive.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
yeah.
Do you have an estimated release date for that by any chance?
No, not at all.
I was already-
Whenever
I was gonna say,
it's
like,
done.
Please,
Whenever it's
Justin.
done, it's
I
done.
just want to hear it.
I just want to hear more.
Yeah. Kyle's
It's a good
gonna say
thing, though,
something.
Dude. We just want to fucking hear more, man. Keep it
Right.
going, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just keep
for
going.
every one song that we put out, I have like 12 on my computer that I'm like, I don't, maybe not.
Jesse.
And then with that being said, that song that they're talking about was like a surprising one that came from you, right, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like when did Ed get angry? Like that's
Right.
where that came from. Like,
We'll just
I know he's been all smiles this whole time.
we'll just say this. This is probably this song will probably be not the biggest song from us, but I think it will probably be one of the most angry songs we put out. Maybe
Yeah, I think
at
I
least
think it tops Betrayal, and I think Betrayal I think is our angriest song.
yeah. And there's a lot behind this song. That's all I can say about it. But yeah, it's gonna be angry for sure. The way this is recorded, I'm gonna make sure it sounds the angriest it possibly can.
And I made sure the lyrics are as angry as they possibly can be.
Yeah.
So I think with that, I think we feel good to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we had a
Yeah,
pretty
okay.
On
good
the episode
conversation.
can
We'll let you boys
close.
get back to your night. We actually
Yeah,
got
we got our own band practice to
tonight,
get
too,
to.
so-
Sick.
But I
Nice,
do want to
nice.
thank you guys for giving us your time and like chilling out, hanging out, and fucking sitting and chat with us. You know what I mean? Get a little
Yeah.
bit of nitty gritty, and it was definitely awesome to meet you guys over at Page's party and touch
Mhm.
base and form a good working relationship with another good crew. You know, I
Absolutely.
always love
Yeah.
that shit.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
Looking
definitely.
forward to hearing
Definitely.
more and seeing the future of Death's Hand for sure.
Hell yeah! Hope you guys
Yeah.
come around soon.
Yeah, we will. And like I said, if you guys hear of anything and there's anything we can jump on that you guys are a part of, I'm sure we'd all love to try to do that. So, you know,
Yeah,
we-
likewise.
yeah, the biggest
yeah.
thing we try to do is we like playing with as many new bands as we can, but when we find people who we find that are genuine and we really enjoy being around them, like that's the, you know, it's like, oh, cool, we can play with those people, but like we know them, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like that's who we want to be
Right.
around, you know? It makes it
absolutely.
worth it for us.
Just like a little nice little bond, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
forward to
exactly.
sharing a stage someday for sure. You know.
Yeah, hell yeah.
that'd,
dude.
Yeah.
that'd be an honor for
Sick,
sure.
dude. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
But with that, I want to finally say thank you guys for joining us, and we'll bring this to a close. And
Yeah, dude.
thanks for joining us at the Doghouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.